Alright, so today I'm going to walk you through the authentication UI of this web application I recently started building. Right now I have only completed the sign in and sign up interface, but instead of just showing the design, I want to explain how everything is structured and why I build it this way. This is going to be a proper walkthrough, not just a this is a div, this is a button, but how the whole thing works together. Let's get into it. First, let's look at the basic structure of the HTML file. At the very top, we define the uh, document as HTML file. That just ensure browser render everything using modern standard. Inside the head section, I have included the character encoding and viewport setting. The character encoding ensure all text display correctly, and the viewport setting makes the layout responsive on mobile devices. Since this is something people might use on phones, responsiveness is important from the beginning. Then I link my external CSS file and JavaScript file. I prefer keeping style and logic separate from HTML structure. Uh, it keeps things organized and easier to manage as the project grows. Now let's move to the body. I am using Tailwind utility classes directly in body to create gradient background and center the authentication card vertically and horizontally. Instead of writing a lot of custom CSS for layout, I am using utility classes to move faster and keep the structure clean. Then we have the main white container. This is the basically the authentication card. It has rounded corners and shadows to give it some depth that make it feel more modern and less flat. Inside the container, I divided everything into two main sections. The header section, which contains the title and short description, and the form section, which contains both the sign in and sign up forms. Now here's an important decision. Instead of creating separate pages for sign in and sign up, I place both forms inside the same HTML file. Why? Because I don't want the page to reload every time someone switches between them. If I use separate pages, the browser would reload completely. That can feel slow and slightly clunky. Instead, I keep both forms here and just toggle their visibility using JavaScript. This makes the switching instant. It feels smoother and more interactive. If you look closely, the sign-in form has class called active, while the sign-up form starts with class called hidden. That means when the page loads, the sign-in form is visible by default. When the user clicks sign up, I run the JavaScript function that hides the sign-in form and show the sign-up form. I am not deleting anything. I am not reloading the page. I am just changing CSS classes. That's the core idea.
Each input has
Now
a
let's look
label,
at the input field.
an input element, and in some cases, an error message contained underneath. For example, the email field uses type email instead of text. That's important because the browser automatically checks if the format look like valid email. So even before I write custom validation, the browser already helps prevent invalid formats. Each input also has both an ID and a name attribute. This ID is mainly used for connecting labels and for JavaScript targeting. The name attribute is important. Later when the form is submitted to backend server, the server reads the name, not the ID. So even though this is just front end right now, I am structuring it in a way that works properly when connect to a backend.
Now let's talk about the password toggling feature. Instead of writing separate logic for every password field, I create the one reusable function called toggle password visibility. This function takes two things, the ID of the input field and the button that was clicked. If the input type is password, it change it to text. If it's already text, it switch back to password. This lets user see what they are typing if they want to. And I also change the emoji to reflect the state visually. This small feature improves usability quite a lot. The other function in JavaScript file is toggle form. This function select both the sign in and sign up containers using their IDs. Then it toggle the hidden class on both of them. So whichever one was visible become hidden and the other become visible. It also toggle the active class on track which form currently selected. It's simple function but it keep the behavior clean and predictable. You might also notice that in the sign in and sign up form, I have already added the empty error message containers under each input. Even though I haven't implemented validation yet, I prepared space for it. That way, when I add validation logic in the next episode, I won't need to change the HTML structure. I will just inject message dynamically. So overall, this authentication UI isn't just about styling. It's structured to be responsive, easy to extend, and ready for backend integration. Everything is separated clearly. HTML handle structure, CSS handle styling, JavaScript handle interaction. In the next video, I will implement proper validation and start connecting this to a backend system. If you are interested in seeing how this evolve step by step, stay tuned for next part. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video.